always had that vision that I'm gonna be successful. You have to actually believe it's going to work. Otherwise, you will quit. You have to be passionate. Anything I attach myself to has value. It's not just that artist, it's whoever I work with. I don't really want to do it, you know, but I have to. The industry is very cutthroat. No one cares. Reality, when you started laughing, I'm like, bro, I'm being dead serious, bro. We're gonna make it. That point there, I wanted to give up. I didn't trust human beings no more. And that's why I respect women, because I see the struggles that women have to go through. And it's like, women are actually powerful. I bawl. I'll tell you straight. I didn't say that at the time, but I'll tell you straight, I bawl my eyes out, put in my heart and soul, time, money, and effort into this. For you to just leave me just like that.
Thank you in advance for listening, because it means that my confidence grows. Thank you for subscribing, because it means that I get to share more. And thank you for commenting, because it means that I get to listen to you. And thank you in advance for sharing, because that's confirmation that we inspired you to inspire others. I pray that you enjoyed this episode as much as we enjoyed creating it.
This is the Promisingpreneur podcast. I am Aahliyah Amerat, and right now I'm here with a very special guest, Derozario. Hello, sir.
Hey, no claps for you, come on.
Oh, sorry. The whole drum roll thing. My bad.
What's happening?
How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you doing today?
I am perfect.
Perfect.
Thank you. Now that you are in front of me.
All right, that perfect. Cool.
I am really excited for this episode.
Mm-hmm. Thank you for having me there, by the way. Appreciate it.
Of course, anytime. I'm really excited for this episode for a number of reasons, because you're obviously doing some amazing things within the music industry. But I personally know a lot of really inspirational things that you have gone through, that you are currently dealing with, and that you're about to do. And I really want the world to see that as well.
Okay.
And I'm going to draw it out of you.
Let's go.
So, I want to start off by you telling me a bit about who you are, where you've come from, and currently what you do.
Cool. You know, that question of who I am is still on that journey of who I actually am, yeah. But so I'm an entrepreneur first and foremost, right? I'm a businessman. Have strengths, have weaknesses, have passions. Currently, I am a MD of a label. I'm a CEO, founder of a management company, independent label. So I kind of do major scale and I do independent scale. Also into sports, and I'm slowly getting into properties as well. So I'm an all-rounder. But my day-to-day is music entertainment. Day-to-day, yeah.
And I know we're gonna talk about the journey to get into the position that you are in today. However, what is that position? You're an MD of a label, a major label. But tell me about the accolades that you do have.
Okay, cool. So, yeah, so founder of Mizermillion Entertainment, which is, it started off being a management company. So I manage creatives. Majority of the people that I manage is artists and producers. Went on to manage mix engineers, videographers, photographers. I even started managing an actor, which is obviously, they call it like agent, but agent, manager, kind of same thing, represent the client. So I built that. So that's founder of that. And then I'm also co-MD with my current business partners of Dream Life Records, which is a subsidiary label under the Sony umbrella. So with that being said, I am the director of a major label. It's self-explanatory, really. Do you know what I mean? And yeah, it's I talk about it lightly, but it's, for me, for where I come from, it's major. It's major.
Who do you manage?
So I currently manage artists called MoStack. I manage Rxwntree, he's a producer, multi-genre producer. I manage Marrik Shearer, who is a mix engineer. I manage a Jamaican dancehall artist called Rara. I've just taken on a young drill artist called T Drip. the company, we also look after a singer-songwriter called Abby Piper, Pinero Beats. Yeah, it's a range of people, you know.
Yeah, and some big names in there as well.
100%.
Which is amazing.
And I've worked with a lot of people, but this is like my current roster. Like I've worked with K-Trap, I've worked with Jazz Caris, I've worked with Jordan King, I've worked with Jalen. Like there's so many names, do you know what I mean? But in this industry, like, you know, not every single relationship you have always lasts the whole time, you know. Like you manage people for an occasion, like an album process or a couple of EPs, and then you kind of, you know, everybody has what they want to do. So some people go off and do their own thing, you know. I never hold anyone back. Anybody who I manage, I feel like I uplift them to be their own bosses anyway. You know what I'm trying to say? So if they go on and do great things, I was a part of that. And that's what I feel like is a unique selling point for me. Like anybody who I come into contact with, I uplift you to be better. You know what I'm saying? And that's where, yeah. So that's why, yeah.
Something that I know that Mizermillion does is because you said this to me once before, that you like to micromanage people's lives, right? Because obviously a lot of creatives don't have the best management skills of their own self, right? Because they are creatives, and both of us work with creators all the time, and so like I'm personally obviously a creative. Our minds are scatty.
100%.
So in terms of scatty minds, having somebody as organised as you are, being able to kind of support them in, because this is something that I think is brilliant about Mizermillion Entertainment, is the fact that you'll support them into start investing, using the money that they make into investing in properties, or investing in other kind of assets that then allow them to continue and build their wealth outside of music and
outside
creativity.
of music, yeah, because as you should know, music doesn't last forever. You know what I'm trying to say? In terms of like your career, you can go from being young artists. Once you reach a certain threshold, there's not a particular age group, but once you get past the 30s going on, obviously the audience gets younger and younger, so your music starts to die down naturally. You know what I'm trying to say? You've got your day ones who's grown with you, but then they've gone and had kids, and their kids are now listening to the new. Do you know what I'm trying to say? So for me, it's like, as an entrepreneur, first and foremost, my role is to always make sure my artists, producers, anyone who I manage or work with, set their life up for the next step of other than what they're doing to, like, currently for their profession. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, life continues, you know, and your mental health is very important, because you're used to and you're accustomed to a certain lifestyle. There's certain money that comes in regularly. You think that's never going to end. Like when you're in it and it's coming in every week, and you know you're spending and it's coming in, and you're spending and it's coming in. That happens for like consecutively for like 4 years. In your mind, that's going to continue happening. So me now, I have to pull away from all of that lit lifestyle and look at it and think, bro, look at the trajectory and know, look, this ain't gonna last that long. You know what I'm trying to say? Because the numbers don't lie. You know what I'm trying to say? The litness, and when you're an artist or you're a creative and you're successful, right? You get a lot of opportunities. People send you things for free. Clubs want you to come in for free, send you bottles, this, that, and the third, because your current is lit. They're seemed as cool because you being in their club draws more people to come in. They make more money, so it's cool for them to give you bottles and all of that kind of stuff. Everybody's benefiting here. You know what I'm trying to say? And in your head, it's wow for you, because majority of the people that I manage, right, come from underprivileged backgrounds. So for them to get into this stage, it's like, wow, it's mental. So for me, do you know what I'm trying to say? It's major. So for me, it's like, as much as I like the lit lifestyle, also, you've got to be grounded, because you have to be the person behind the people behind the entertainers are the ones who control the business. You know what I'm trying to say? Because the entertainers, they're selling a product. So you have to maintain that, and you have to make sure that product is consistently sold. Even when the entertainer creative is going through all sorts of transitions, you got to keep them grounded. You got to watch out for all the new friends that come around. you got to speak to them as well, because it's like easily led. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, a key thing is watch who they're around, because literally, like, 1 and 2 friends could be like, no, you don't need to go there, man. Just come here. Like, just for example, and you could go, you're supposed to go studio, but it's like, oh, you could go studio anytime, man. Just come, just go tape or something. Like, I don't know. That's you know what I'm saying? No, tape's lit, but I'm just saying, when you're supposed to go studio and you're going and having fun, they're not in the music industry. You know what I'm trying to say? Their day-to-day job's not that. So that's my role, man. My role is to kind of just like oversee and just watch it and just keep them grounded. And like you mentioned, micromanage and make sure that they have that vision. Not everybody wants to do that, right? Not everybody wants to do it. So you have to adjust to the client that you're working with. But they can't come away from me and say that I didn't encourage that. Do you know what I'm trying to say? So yeah, that's the main thing for me.
I think that is so needed within the creative industries. Do you know, as you was talking, this is a thought process that I've had for a while, and we've previously also touched on it in conversation. The role of a manager or an agent with a creative, right, currently is creator and manager, right, or entertainer and manager. However, without the manager doing the role that you do, micromanaging every aspect of their life, that creator essentially, it's not that they're nothing, but in terms of actually being able to cultivate their creativity into a product to then sell, unless it's an entrepreneurial creator and they're about that life, a lot of creatives struggle with that. So one of the things that I would love to be able to see is managers, good managers, amazing managers that really have their heart and soul into supporting these creatives, them being recognized and seen as co-founders of that creative business, essentially. Because yes, the creative is the entertainer, is the person that's at the forefront, but at the end of the day, really the entertainer is the salesperson, right? You're the person in the forefront, singing, rapping, making the beats, whatever it may be. But that creator needs time to create. However, for you to sell that creativity, there needs to be time put in to selling that creativity to the right people and for them to put money in your pockets, right? i.e. getting brand deals, i.e. getting collaborations, whatever it may be, right? And every single creator needs that time to create, right? And you can't do both at the same time.
That's your role as a manager, to protect and make your creative create. Exactly what you just said, literally.
What do you think of the idea of managers becoming co-founders of that creative business, as opposed to being called, oh yeah, that's just my manager that just does the thing on the side?
Do you know what it is, right? This is something obviously that's like, so gonna answer your question, yeah, but this is something that's obviously been happening before my time, before, you know what I'm saying, yeah, decades, more than that. And what happens is you got the 1 and 2 bad managers that everybody focuses on. They don't focus on the good managers, right? Because, you know, negativity sells in it. Like anything negative, that is glorified. Anything positive is what it is, you know what I'm trying to say, right? So when you have the good managers who are there, like the most successful artists, they have a team. You know what I'm trying to say? As you know, you have a team. But like, the team doesn't really get bigged up, really. Do you know what I'm trying to say? But then when there's a bad manager and something happens and an artist, like now you got social media, right? And it calls it out. Everybody's like, nah, manager shouldn't be getting that and yada, 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 yada. When really and truly the business structure of it is, depending on how it is, it's subjective, right? Because first and foremost, we as managers couldn't manage unless there was the creative, first and foremost, yeah? Now, depending on the situation, there's some managers who will take on an artist when they have literally nothing, yeah? And invest their own money into it, right? To then help that creative with the process, get big and successful, and only take a certain percentage back. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Whereas if you go into any business, like normal business, 50-50. It's it's different things. 60-40.
It's a co-founding role.
You know what I'm trying to say? So it is educate. You need to educate it, and it's just. I feel like the tradition of it being managers get 20%. Managers get 20% is just drilled in the head. So if a manager comes now and says, I want 30%, automatically you think, man's trying to rob me. Or, you know what I'm trying to say? Like, raw, why is you asking for 30%? Like, are you mad? You know what I'm trying to say? But it's like, the negative, the bad managers, it doesn't help. You know what I'm saying? Because it's just a lack of education. So
you did that, didn't you?
What did I do?
When you first started your career.
You know a lot about me. You've done a lot of research.
I'd like to think so.
That's good. I like it.
When you first started your management career, or your music career, should I say, because it's not just management that you do. When you first started the music, you didn't know essentially how to play the role of a manager. So you did invest in.
Yeah, I didn't know what so when I first started, I didn't know exactly what a manager does, right? I knew like you negotiate contracts, you try to bring deals in, sponsorships, you need to have managed their day-to-day diary. If it's an artist, you need to, put a team around the artist. But then I would go above and beyond, you know what I'm trying to say? Because I just felt like it was my responsibility. Plus I've always been like that big brother, father type of figure, I felt like I took it on. So if I took on an artist and I felt like they had extreme talent, it's my job to pay for this and pay for that and pay for this and pay for that. Not even think about it coming back to me right now. I'm just going for this goal. Like, we're trying to win here. So forget about how much it's costed. It cost that? Cool. I'ma get that. If I ain't got it, I'ma get it. And we go. I don't want to dwell on, I ain't got, you didn't put in, I didn't put in, It just slows time. I don't have that. Time is something I can never get back. Do you know what I'm trying to say? We need to keep it moving. If I can't get it, let's work out how we get it and let's just go. So I didn't really, in the beginning, didn't really think about all of that. It was just more of that, we need to go. I need to do whatever it takes to go. I remember when I first started, right, cameramen, like, I didn't know no cameramen. I'm trying to hit up Link Up TV, GRM, SBTV, RIP, Jamal Edwards, trying to hit them all up, and I'm no one to them really, and they're not really getting back to me, yada, yada, yada. So what do? I go and buy a camera. You know what I'm trying to say? I go buy a camera. I speak to, my little brother introduced me to someone around our area who was shooting videos at the time. And I reached out to him on Twitter, actually. I was like, yo, bro, I can't remember exactly what I said. I was making up, yo, bro, shout me, rare, whatever. Spoke to him, and I said to him, look, this is what I want to do. I've seen that you've done a couple of videos. Can I use your camera and this, that, and the third? And he was like, bro, I don't even own a camera. I was like, you don't own a camera? What? So I'm just like, all right, cool. How much are cameras? I think he showed me a Canon T2. I can't remember what it is now, but it was just like the bog standard camera at that time, right? So I think the camera cost about like 500 at that time. I'm talking like 2009, 2010, yeah. £500 now for a camera is like, well, you're getting some done out here camera. But at that time, £500 for me was like, wow, that's a lot of money. You know what I'm saying? So I bought the camera, got excited. Camera come. What was funny is I got the camera and I picked it up and I'm like, I phoned, the cameraman was C-Star. I phoned C-Star. I'm like, bro, where's the, I didn't know it was called a lens, innit? I was like, where's the thing that you, I'm saying the thing that you like, you can zoom and that. He's like, what, you didn't buy a lens? I'm like, what, I'm supposed to buy a lens, bro? I was like, oh my day. So like, I bought the camera, no lens, then I had to go buy a lens. The lens now costs like another £400 or £500. I think I bought a 1.4 or the 1.2, that depth of field and stuff. Like, I can't remember exactly what it was. So I got the camera, but this camera, you actually couldn't zoom. So once you, I put the lens on, yeah, and like I'll be sitting here and you'll be right in my face. Like, so I'm saying to him, how do you zoom out? Like, he's like, bro, you can't zoom out. So I've got to stand like way back for a shot of you being far. Like, oh, it was crazy. It was crazy. So with that being said, yeah, I just bought the camera. I just started shooting videos. Literally started shooting videos for the artists. Learned how to edit, Premiere Pro, and we were just going for it. Literally learning it. Tutorials, and yeah, we were just shooting videos. So it's just very hands-on. Very, very hands-on. Like the journey, when I think about it now, it brings me back. I'm like, get chills because I remember them days, you know? And now I've got like big sets where we're doing 30 grand videos and all of this. And I'm just like, wow. Like, I remember when I bought a camera, I didn't even know what a lens was. You know what I'm trying to say? So when it comes to the creative side of it, in videos and stuff, I do have a lot of input because I learned from the beginning stages of doing that. I wouldn't say I'm an expert, but I do have an eye for certain shots and how things should look. So, yeah.
So you said in that you had to essentially learn things that you never even thought about.
That's not a manager's role, you know.
Right.
Do you know what I'm trying to say? Like,
exactly. So things that wasn't it's not set out to be a manager's role, but you ended up doing it anyway, right? So in terms of you being able to invest in people that you believed in creators that you believed in, what did that take away from you? Because you went above and beyond. Do you remember what that done to you and your mental state?
do you know what, yeah? Looking back at it now, I could probably answer that. At the time, I thought that this is just what it is you got to do, right? So my whole life, from the second I woke up, was focused on the creatives. Nothing to do with myself. In terms of like, what I need to do, what needs to be done. Like, I wasn't thinking about myself. It was all about them. What do I need to do for them? Who do I need to speak to? I remember for me, right, being I'd say I was an introvert. Yeah, I would say I was an introvert because I was very to myself. My family would agree. Very quiet, and I always knew that I always knew that I was gonna be big. Didn't know what capacity. I thought I was gonna be big in football, right? You see, like how you call my surname Shane Derozario. I thought I was gonna be some Brazilian. You know what I'm trying to say?
So
like,
what part of Brazilian?
Yes, I got Brazilian in me as well. You know, Derozario. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I thought I was gonna be this massive footballer. Had the name for it, all of that kind of stuff, and like, obviously that didn't really work out. You know what I'm trying to say? And then me going into music, I quickly found out that I can't be this shy person that I've gotten away with all this time. Like, in order for me to progress and for me to get myself an artist out there, whereas when I say myself, it was more them, I had to speak to people that I didn't know. Like, go into a room and just speak to someone that doesn't know me from Adams, and I'm having to tell them about my artist. I remember the first time I went to speak to, I think it was Manny Naughty. Now Manny Naughty is like my big brethren now, it's mad. So I remember seeing him, and I had a CD that I burnt, right? And it was one of my artists called Bonkers at the time. And I saw Manny Naughty and I was hesitant, like, should I? Like, but it was all in my head, like, literally in my head, I was just like, I don't know if I could do this. I don't know if I could do this. And I was like, nah, you gotta do this, come on. You gotta do it. And this is like split 10 seconds I'm having a conversation with myself and I'm like, what's the worst that can happen? Cool, let's go. And I just went up to him and I'm like, I'm thinking I don't want to fumble my words. I don't want to do, and I'm like, well, I think I said this. Hey, Manny, I'm Shane. I'm a manager. Here's my artist's CD. And he was just like, oh, thanks. Appreciate that. And I was like, ah. Like, I was like,
Is that it?
yeah, like that was simple. Do you know what I mean? So I had to become I had to become this new person. So the question that you asked me, what did it do for me? On one side, I had to give my whole entire life to someone else, but at the same time, I'm evolving skills and attributes that I never thought I'd have. You know what I'm trying to say? So it's a bit of both. You know, a bit of giving my life to someone else and having to believe in a creative. In order for me to be successful, I had to believe in that creative. For them to be successful, for me to be successful. And then for them to be successful and me to be successful, I had to become someone I wasn't.
So you had to become someone.
But it was in me.
Felt like you wasn't.
Yeah.
Like, that's what
yeah, but it was in me.
Felt like you wasn't.
Yeah.
You had to become someone that you felt like you wasn't. Where do you think your introvertedness came from?
Insecurities. 100%. Insecurities about just like, as you can see, I'm not a very big guy. I'm 6'2". So when I was younger, I felt like I was always like, not the biggest, but one of the biggest. Always used to stand out. People used to notice me. I never used to want to be noticed. I come from a family of like loud personalities, very strong women personalities. There's a lot of strong males as well, but predominantly females. And like the males, obviously, like egos and everybody wants to be heard and stuff. And I just was a bit timid, a bit. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Because I had family members who were going off and doing big things, and everybody was praising them, and I was loving it. But me, I was just that guy, like just the shy, quiet one. Do you know what I'm trying to say? And I feel like I've just built that fear in myself, and I wasn't just confident within myself because I had so much successes around me. I just felt like I wasn't at that level. Yeah, I feel like that's what it was, and I just shied away. So then when I stepped, so I was comfortable in my zone, like I was cool here. When I now step out into the world, I'm like, I don't know what's going on. It's very uncomfortable. So my natural state was to go back into my shell. Do you know what I'm trying to say? So yeah, I feel like that's what it was. Just insecurities as well. A lot of insecurities that I had to get over.
Would you say that you've gotten over your insecurities?
Yes and no. There's still a little bit of insecurities there, but I've gotten over it a lot now because one of the things is caring what people think. You know what I'm trying to say? Why you care what people think? I don't know. But it's like when if someone says something bad about you, it's like it makes you feel a certain type of way, innit? Like, you don't even know me, or like, or if someone your closest says something bad, it makes you actually feel sad. You know what I'm trying to say? So you don't really want to hear that. Do you know what I'm trying to say? But now it's like with the music, music's opinions. You know what I'm trying to say? It's not facts, it's just opinions. You're trying to get more people to like it than not. You just have to focus on the people that like it. The people that don't like it, cool, it's not for you. See you later. And I had to learn that. So at first, for example, like I drop a video for one of my artists, and like there's like 10 comments saying, oh, this is sick, this is sick, this is sick. One comment will be like, shit. I'll focus on that one. What do you mean it's shit? Like, do you know how many hours man spent on this? Like mixing, mastering, doing the video, editing, for you to turn around and watch this for 2 minutes and tell us that's shit. Are you mad? So getting over that, I feel like now I'm like, yeah, I don't even really care. It does sometimes come back because I'm not 100% there, but I'm more in control. I think that's what's happened. And that's taken years of getting to know yourself. And I feel like getting older and not caring about certain things that used to make you feel that way. When someone says something to me now that would have pissed me off then, it's like, you don't know what I'm on. I'm on this journey. You know what I'm trying to say? You don't know what I'm on. That can't bother me. Yeah, so that's how I feel still. So yeah, I've gotten over most of my insecurities, but still 1 and 2. But
I mean, would you say that? Why was it that the insecurities that you had So if anybody,
I like how we're this direction that this conversation is going. It's cool. It's cool. This is the journey, right?
This is the journey. This is the real life journey of
It's
being
the
an
journey.
entrepreneur, right?
100%.
Because
It's how I started, man. You know what I mean? To get to where I am.
imposter syndrome, the insecurities, the fact that essentially us building businesses has a lot of us is come from the adversity that we've faced and trying to steer away from the heartache that we kind of felt as children or whatever it may be. But what I was going to say was the insecure. So anybody looking in would look at you and be like, "Yeah, but you're this big MD." Like,
Trust, I get that all the time.
right?
All
like,
the time.
You're this big MD. You've got this management company. You've got people that work for you. You've got MoStack. You've just signed some of the biggest like rap artists in the UK. Like, you insecure? What? Like what? And it's like this idea that you had those insecurities growing up or along the journey, but you were still making the moves and making the steps for you to be where you are today. How?
Good question. Very good question. I just so when you ask that question, yeah, so many things run through your head. So one of the main things, right, was making my mum proud, and to not make my mum. I have to close my eyes because when I close my eyes, I'm visualizing it. Not make my mum have to go through struggles, right? Growing up, I was close with my mum. My mum had me and my little brother, and it was just like, it was us. Obviously, my dad broke up and rare, all of that kind of stuff. You know, men, how it is. You know, it is.
I don't know how it is.
Well,
I don't know how it is.
yeah, cool. Just that relationship and seeing, like, I remember I used to like notice that my mum has to work and grind, and you know, we would never not have food on the table, would never not have clothes on our back, would never not have a roof over our head. But what we did have was just limited. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Like, I couldn't get 2, 3, 4 trainers. I only got 1 trainers of the year. See that 1 pair of trainers? I make sure I look. Every time I come back home, that's getting wiped down and that's getting put back in the box. There's no going school kicking ball with these trainers because now I get the next pair of trainers. You know what I'm trying to say? I'm seeing certain mans come into school and their trainers is talking to me. Yeah? I'm not about that life. You see what I'm saying? Man's trainers is having a full conversation with me when he's walking, so I'm just like, nah. Yeah. So just like, I wouldn't say it was poor in it. It wasn't poor, but it was just limited. You know what I'm trying to say? And that limitation when your other school friends have got loads of things. They've got the latest this, they got the latest that, and rare. You don't even want to ask your mum because you know what's going on at home. You know the struggles that your mum's going through. Now, in this generation, I'd say like kids don't really care about that. I feel like I cared about it. So I always known that I want to make a success of myself so that my children and my mum and my siblings never have to go through that again. So that's what's driving me every day. That's what's helping me to develop slowly. I don't really want to do it, you know, but I have to. I have to do this. Because if I don't do this, the dream that I have of not making my mum go through that, or not making my siblings have to go through that, or not making my future children have to go through that, I have to become this now. You know what I'm trying to say? Otherwise, it's not going to work. I study, I read books, or like just documentary. I love documentaries on people that inspire me. And the common thing is that they just believe and go for it. Like, there's all sorts of different things here, but the main thing is they believed in the unseen. Because a lot of people are like, seeing is believing. Whereas with all of these entrepreneurs or successful people, the successful entrepreneurs, they can believe in what other people can't see. You know what I'm trying to say? And for me, it's like, yeah, I've always had that vision I'm gonna be successful. But it's like, please show me how, God, because it's not football. Didn't work out. My cousins were professionals. I wanted to go there. I love that. Eat, sleep, shitted football every day. I'm a big Arsenal fan. Anyone, Arsenal, innit?
Fine.
Yeah, I don't want to hear it. Yeah, cool. But anyway, I studied that, and like, once I got the realization that, brother, your football career is, yeah, you're good, but you're not really gonna make it. That was just like, man.
If you're enjoying this podcast so far, this is only going to annoy you if you're a hater. Click subscribe, click follow, and drop a quick comment. And if you've done all of those already, then send me a 5-star review, because honestly, it's the only way we survive on the internet. Thank you.
What am I gonna do next? I remember I was like 17, and I said to my mum one time, I don't know if my mum will remember this, but I said to my mum one time that I don't think I should be here. Like I said, I don't think I should be here, because I'm kind of like going through, yeah. I said I didn't want to be here because I thought at that time that was my life, innit? That's what I was born to do. That's what I thought. I had cousins who were agents, cousins who were professionals. I was around professionals. I felt like that was just footballers, by the way. I felt like that was my journey. Like, it was made for me. I remember, like, it's funny, yeah. It's crazy. So I'll be mad. I'll be on the toilet. I'm gonna tell you straight. I'll be on the toilet doing a number 2, and I'll be sitting down. Yeah, but if I'm on the toilet for too long, my legs start moving mad.
Oh,
right?
No.
Like, I'll get cramps of the blood circulation. Yeah. But this is when I'm young. So when I never used to understand. So when that used to happen, yeah, my legs used to tingle. In my head, God is making my legs. On my life, I thought God was making my legs be able to do all the skills and like, this is what I thought. These times it's just blood circulation is not going to my legs. So obviously I'm young, innit? Please, yeah, I'm young here. I don't really understand what's going on. That is what I thought. You never known that before, is it? I thought God
funny.
was sending something to my legs. I thought when I go on the pitch, I'm doing 100 step overs. I'm doing this.
These
that.
times are doing nothing.
You know what I'm trying to say? But yeah. So
That is actually so funny.
I've never actually said that before, you know, it's crazy. But you wanted the realness, innit? So
Do you know what? 1 second, sorry. I kind of understand that. Like, when certain things used to happen to me when I was younger, I used to make up the story that I was so much greater than I actually was. And then it would come to it, and I'm like, oh, like, this shit is not how, this is not working the way that it was working in my head. Why? So I actually get that.
yeah, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's the main reason why, like, when I go through what I go through, just to I don't want to be in that position again. Never want to be in that position again. I know it can come, but I always want to strive to set foundation, because, like, I feel like my mum, looking back, right, my mum done the best she could with what she had. And, you know, brilliant mother, could have been better in my eyes, obviously. But, like I said, never went without a meal, never went without clothes. She done what she felt at the time was the best thing to do. Do you know what I'm trying to say? And I respect that. And the love that I have for her, you know, I can tell I'm a mummy's boy. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, look, and that's why I respect women, because I see the struggles that women have to go through. And it's like, women are actually powerful. Men need men to show us how to be men, right? But when you see the struggles that women go through, you're like, whoa. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, whoa. So for me, it's like, yeah, I want to give back to my mother. You know what I'm trying to say? And just make her proud. That's what kept me going through school. When everyone in school was trying to lead me astray, the man was saying, come smoke and thing and do this and this. Oh, forget that lesson. And in my head, I'm thinking, brother, if I go home, I'll let that my mum. It's not going to... You know what I'm trying to say? Like, and my mum will mock me. Like, oh, bro, your mum. Like, but for me, it was different. Because when I go home, you don't know what's going on at home, bro. Like, you know what I'm trying to say? Like, so you lot can mock me all you want. I know who I am. I'm good. Like, I was very much a leader going in school. Like, no, I wasn't a follower. You know what I'm trying to say? I stood my ground. You know what I'm trying to say? Man saying that they're doing this, I ain't doing that. That ain't me. You know what I'm trying to say? 1 and 2 times I stepped out and I was like, what am I doing there? Loud that. You know what I'm trying to say? I remember one time I got brave and I said, I'm going to bunk a lesson. Hey.
I'm sorry.
The head, huh?
I don't even know what that is.
Bunk. That's
Bunk a lesson.
Yeah, bunk a lesson.
Oh, I thought you said something very different.
No.
Never mind.
So, I remember my head teacher running after me. I went Kingsdale. Anyone who knows Mr. Morrison used to run you down. You know what I'm trying to say? So, that weren't for me. Bunking lesson and all that. Like, I think
I was the queen of bunking school.
Nah, it weren't for me.
Bunking lesson. I bunked school.
You know what it is? Yeah? I feel like I had this bad luck. I feel like everyone will bunk lesson and not get caught. I bunk lesson and get caught straight away. So it's just like, it's safe for me. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, so that was my reasoning.
So I wanna touch on. You was talking about the person that you had to become, right? To be the person that you are today. At what point in your journey was you trying to become someone and it wasn't becoming? It just wasn't.
In my journey
happening. In your journey
of like with what I'm doing now, yeah. So say the question again.
So,
what part?
You need to become you need to become a type of person to be able to create success for yourself, right? From everything that you've said, you've basically said that you have consistently done what you needed to do. You've stayed on the right path, essentially, consistently.
Yeah.
However,
I think I got it.
Was there a pivotal moment for you when you was just like, I'm doing everything and this is not happening?
Not saying no enough.
Okay.
Always said yes.
He was a yes man.
Whoa. Not in the studio. I would tell my artist that that's not good. But I mean in terms of doing things. People asking for favors and things that would lead me astray where I'm supposed to focus on this. It's always saying yes. I needed to say no. I needed to learn how to say no and be comfortable saying no. Because when you're saying no, I'm saying no and then I'm saying, it's because I'm making excuses, and then that gives them a reason to say, but you can do this and okay, cool. Like, I feel like that, me just saying yes all the time and trying to help everyone was a downfall for me. Because there's only so much of me that I could give.
Where do you think that yes mentality came from?
I'm a helper. I've always tried to help. From the day I was born. I remember when I was born, I was 7, my brother was born. I'm changing his nappy, I'm getting SMA, I'm doing this, I'm helping my cousins, I'm helping. Like, you know, like I was an old soul at a young age. You know what I'm trying to say? And I was just helping. I just felt good helping people, you know? And then that just carried on throughout my journey. So now I'm becoming a businessman. I need to learn to be shrewd and stern, but I'm not, because my natural personality is to help. To help. So when someone's in need, I'm going above and beyond to help them when I can't really do it, really, but I feel bad. So that was something that I felt like I couldn't stop, like, and that led me to not getting to where I needed to get fast enough. I always have setbacks because I'm just helping too many people. You know what I'm trying to say? And if I look back at it now, I would have said no more. You know, like obviously I can still help, but I can't help all the time.
It's like Lisa, I think it's Lisa Nichols. Lisa Nichols says, you can't, paraphrasing here because I can't remember exactly what she says, but she goes, you can't, she turned around and said, I can't help the community if I'm still in the community. What am I doing sitting next to the same people that need the help? I need to be outside of it so then I can support you. Because if I'm not outside of it, then I'm and work like you.
Mm-hmm.
It's that simple, isn't it? So, like, what would you say? You building the management company, creative management company. What would you say was the pivotal moment that taught you, like, one of the biggest lessons that you learned whilst building your own management company?
Yeah, so I remember when I first started, right, being an entrepreneur again. I keep using this word because, you know, Promisingpreneur podcast. I took on way too many artists at one stage, right? So I started off managing a producer. My little brother was close friends with the producer, and he was making beats. And my brother said to him, "Right, you should talk to my brother." Yada yada yada. Spoke to me. I got him music sent to some artists. Cut a long story short, he asked me to manage him. So I've managed the producer. When managing the producer, it got a bit boring because managing the producer, you gotta put them in a session with an artist. The artist records the track. The track may not come out for a year. So there's nothing for the producer doesn't get paid. The producer doesn't get his PRS statements. There's nothing until that song goes out, right? So we're sitting here, we're excited because he's working with all of these artists, but there's nothing's going on. So then I have to then think, okay, cool. I saw Lil Wayne start Young Money. And I'm going to get to the point, right? Lil Wayne started Young Money. And in my head, I'm like, right, I could start a collective of artists and producers. Because that way, if I've got my own artists, I don't have to wait for someone else to release the music. If it's my artist, release the music. So the producer's happy, the artist is happy. Cool. So I took on an artist. Then working with the artists, I met other artists at the time. So, cool. I took on Ray. Ray was an artist at the time. I saw his F64 on SBTV, and the guy could spit. Lyrical genius. This was no gibbery stuff. This was technical metaphors, bars. And I'm like, raw, this guy is hard. Reached out to him, had a meeting. He was on board. I told him straight, bro, I've just started managing. I don't know exactly what I'm doing. But I tell you what, no one is going to want it as much as me. Whatever it takes, I'm going to do it, bro. I told him straight, looked him in his eye, and I said, I will do it. Anything that's needed, I will do it. He shook my hand. He said, bro, let's go. Tell a lie. I played him. I made my producer make a couple of beats specifically for him. I gave him my Beats headphones. I remember it to this day. He put the headphones on. He was in a cafe in Sydenham. And he listened to the first beat. He took it off and he said, bro, let's go. Yeah? So now I've got my artist and producer. Then off the back of that, you know, making a little bit of noise. When I say noise, it wasn't really noise. I felt it was noise. I took on other artists. So I took on a rapper called Bonkers. Then I took on a singer called Jordan King. Then I took on a singer called Jalen. And at this time, I'm just feeling like I could just take on the world. Like, yeah, I could do it, right?
Shout out to my brother Jordan King.
Yes, big man Jordan King. He goes by the name of King now. So what happened was, I'm trying to build a family. So Mizermillion Entertainment, family-run business. When I say that, meaning we're all one. Like, we're not all one, but we're all a part of this movement. We're all trying to be successful. Each one teach one. Each one lean off one. You know what I'm trying to say? If you're cutting through over here, bring in the next man type of thing. That's my vision. But what started happening was, it wasn't the artist's vision. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Like, I feel like at that time, no disrespect, it happens, it's part of life. At that time, when an artist is like nothing ain't really happening for them, and they're seeing a movement that's happening, they want to be a part of that movement so that their career can flourish. So you come in, and yeah, your family, and we're this and we're that. Soon as you start getting a little bit of success, you're gone. You know what I'm trying to say? So when you're having that success, I'm loving it because this is what we've been striving for. But when I'm still trying to bring you in with my other people, it's not really what you want to do. So then it come to the point where one of my artists cut and left me. Didn't have, and that, at that time, I felt was the worst thing that ever happened to me. I've struggled 4, 5, 6 years not making no money from music, putting my heart and soul, time, money and effort into this, for you to just leave me just like that. That point there, I wanted to give up. I didn't trust human beings no more. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, this is someone who I spoke to every day. We didn't have a problem. We didn't have an issue. You know, like in a relationship, right? There's constant arguments. So you can kind of feel it's going to come soon. There was no arguments. There was no issues. You just felt the grass was green on the other side. Teared my heart out. I bawl. I tell you straight. I didn't say that at the time, but I tell you straight, I bawled my eyes out because I felt like my team was dismantling. You know what I'm trying to say? And yeah, that was a moment, man. And I thank the other artists that I had, the Jordans, the Jalens, the Rays, all of them, like, they kept me going, you know, because I said to them, I don't want to do this no more. Like, I don't want to do this no more. Like, I learned that, I learned that everyone's kind of for themselves, really. You know what I'm saying? Me, I've got the vision of a family-run business. Artists just are selfish. No disrespect. They just want to win. Do you know what I'm trying to say? And that's rightfully so. But my vision was family. Yeah. Their vision is me. My name in the lights. You know what I'm trying to say? And that's what I learned, man. That's what I learned. And I had to learn the hard way.
Do you feel like...
But that was actually one of the best thing for me as well, though.
So
it was the best thing for me as well, like in hindsight. Yeah.
Why was it the best?
Because that then, after I trusted humans again, I was given the opportunity to then manage the young MoStack. And, you know, he came to me at a time when he just started making a bit of noise. And I've just come off the back of an artist leaving me doing everything. So I'm like, do I really want to do this again? You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, had the conversation. And I feel like, yeah, in me it was, I need to prove a point. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, I need to prove a point. Because at this time, my main artist who I've built up is getting a lot of attraction now. And he's left me. People thinking you're done out here now, bro. Because what I learned is you're only as good as the artist that you have as a manager. Because all the connections that I started building up, all the relationships, all the coffees that I've paid for and taken you out, is because I had an artist who was buzzing. As soon as I don't have the artist no more, you don't want to come to coffee with me no more. You don't want to answer my emails no more. No disrespect, but I'm hitting a man for Jordan King. They don't really care like that, if that makes sense, because he wasn't the hottest thing at that time. They want such and such. You know what I'm trying to say? So that for me was like, wow. At that point, right, me being the shy person that I was, yeah, obviously I'm starting to elevate, but I didn't want to be in front of camera or nothing like that. You know, like growing up, I see P. Diddy all in the video. Doing all of that, and then Suge Knight were like, if you don't want people all in your video, da, da, da. I'm like, bro, I don't want to be that guy. Bro, don't be that guy. See what I'm saying? So I'm like, nah, I don't want to be that guy. But now, after the artist left me, I'm like, you know what? I actually need to brand myself and company so that anything I attach myself to has value. It's not just that artist, it's whoever I work with. If Mizermillion Entertainment is signing that artist, who's that? Like, you know what I'm trying to say? And that's what I needed to be out there more in order to do that. So I had to learn how to brand myself.
So essentially, you had to become the product yourself.
Yeah.
Which is exactly what you do for other creatives.
Yeah, I had to
you
run the
had
product.
to then brand yourself and become that product. Put that stamp on everything.
Otherwise, I would have just been the manager that only manages mid-tier artists, or like I needed to be noticed for my skills and quality, not just the artists I work with. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because yeah, the industry is very cutthroat. No one cares. Reality, no one cares. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, no one actually cares about you. Like no one cares that you're at home and you're suffering and this and that. They just want to see the product. Are you in the charts? Are you getting 1 million views in a day? Are you like, what's like, no one cares. But when you do get the 1 million views and you are in the charts and this and that, you're the best thing ever since sliced bread. What's the saying? Since sliced bread. Like, that's it. So I had to learn that. Do you know what I mean? So I had to find out what it is. What do we deem as success? Because the industry deems you as success if you're the charts #1, but the charts is an every week thing. So it's like, it's like it's up and down. Like, it's not, it doesn't mean you're the best for that week. You know what I'm trying to say? But it's like overall. Because what is an artist? The artist is someone who sells music, who tours. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Like, merchandise, like you're an actual product, like you're a brand. Like, it's not just charts. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, you've got artists, yeah, who's never been on the charts and they're selling out arenas, but they've never been on the charts. So are they not successful? You know what I'm trying to say? But you've got artists who have been on the charts, can't sell out arenas. So what do you want? Do you know what I'm trying to say? Like, what do you do music for? Do you do music just to be on the charts, or do you do music to touch people and to be with your audience? When I'm standing there and I'm listening to the audience sing back the records that I've sat down in the studio with, and I heard the first bing, boom, boom, like, and then they're singing back to it, and the man's writing their lyrics. The process is crazy. Like, thousands of people singing back the records. That's success. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Like, that's success. Not just the charts and all of that. That's a part of it. Do you know what I'm trying to say? And that, don't get me wrong, like, as a major label, you want to be in the charts and be that. But as an artist, you want longevity. Yeah. You know, because it comes and goes. You could be #1 today and you're gone tomorrow. It doesn't, no one cares. It don't matter.
So I want to ask you this.
Did I even answer the question there? Because I kind of went off. Did I answer that?
Yeah.
Yeah? You sure?
I mean, the whole point is a flowing conversation.
Cool,
so
cool.
It's not about question and answer session.
Cool.
So we're good with that one. I want you to give some wisdom. Right? I want you to give wisdom to the budding musicpreneur. So the budding person that wants to create their own major label, or they want to create their own music label, or their own management label, and build the business and build other creatives up. I want you to give me 3 things, as somebody that's done it and reap the success and the rewards of all of the hard work and graft that you've put in. What would you say to the next budding musicpreneurs out there that they need to do, or they should do, or they should think about, or they should learn? Like, what is that? 3 things.
Right, so one of them is self-belief. You've got to believe in yourself, because no one else won't believe in you. Literally, point blank. You got to believe in the vision. Write it down, visualize it. I remember, just on this topic of believing in yourself, I remember pacing around in my producer's room, Pinero Beats, saying to myself, walking around the room, saying to myself, I'm gonna make it, bro. We're gonna make it, bro. We're gonna make it, bro. We're gonna make it. And he started laughing, bro. And I'm like, bro, I'm being dead serious, bro. We're gonna make it. It's that self-belief when no one else believes in you. Do you know what I'm trying to say? That's first things first. It's deep. It goes deeper than what it is the saying. You have to actually believe it's going to work. Otherwise, you will quit. You have to be passionate. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Cool, so that's the first thing. Second thing is, don't take no. Don't take no personal, right? We're in an industry of opinions. So if 1 and 2 people don't think you're good, or your artist is good, or your company's not good, that doesn't mean you're not good. You know what I'm trying to say? You need to create your own doors. If all the no's are doors, and they shut, and they shut, and they shut, you know what you do? You build a door. You open it and walk through yourself. You know what I'm trying to say? You find a space. It could be a tiny space, you know, and you build that door. All them no's.
Crawl for the door if you need to.
You see what I'm trying to say? Yeah. So like that no, because what happens is you get told no so much times, you start believing in that no. So again, and that links with the self-belief. You know what I'm trying to say? So believe in yourself. Don't take no personal. Use that as motivation. Like, yeah, another no, go again. Another no, go again, right? And the last one. The last one I would say is, these questions, just so many things fall through your head. And then probably when I'm watching this back, I'm gonna be like, I should have said that. But for in this moment, what I'm thinking of is like building the right team, because no one person can make it. No one person's an island. Is that the saying? Build the right team. Trial people. You know what I'm trying to say? Don't go full force into it with someone, because you don't know. Everybody gives you that talk in the beginning. That, oh yeah, bro, I want to do this and I want to do that, and like you might actually feel that energy and think, yeah, this is I found that person. Do you know what I'm trying to say? But because they were just giving it to you at that time. But really and truly, after like 3 months when no money's been made, and they having to stay up late and do all of this and all of that, they're bouncing. Yeah. You know what I'm trying to say? Because they're not really passionate about this. They don't really care. They just thought that they could come on board, leverage off you, and go and do their thing. You know what I'm trying to say? So that's one thing. Trial people. Because, yeah, you could get nitty gritty deep into it and that person just bounces and leaves you. And then it's just like, yeah, back to square one type of thing. So that's that's the kind of 3 things that I would say right now for a young entrepreneur that's trying to come up in this game, and just understand the differences in the music industry as well, and the creative industry, like the differences, because being a label and selling music is different to being a manager. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Because being a manager, you're the day-to-day person that artist or creative, as soon as they wake up, they pick up the phone to you. If they've got problems with their missus or their boyfriend or something, they're calling you. You have to deal with that mental stress because they need to create. So why aren't you going studio? The problem with my mum, this and my girl. You got to call the girlfriend now. And you know what I'm trying to say? You might have to book them a cab to go to there's all of that. So that's management. Again, micromanagement. Not a lot of managers may go above and beyond with that. I'm only talking about from my perspective, right? So then running an actual label is you take that product and you market that to the world. Do you know what I'm trying to say? And your success as a label is based on your sales, not based on how good your artist is. You could have the shittest artist, no disrespect. You could have the shittest artist in the world, but they sell. They sell. The label's successful. You know what I'm trying to say? But then you got like the young creatives who looking at that thinking, hold on, my man or my girl is dud. How? You know what I'm trying to say? But then this label are like, boy, we sell him. Who cares? Yeah. So you need to understand the differences, understand the difference between management, record label, and also publishing. Publishing is the songwriter or the music creator. That's your publishing. You know what I'm trying to say? Understand the difference. Understand what you want to go in. The record business is sales. If you're not sales driven, maybe publishing is for you. You know what I'm trying to say? Or just stick with management and work with a label or a publisher. So I feel like you need to understand that. Yeah, that's what I feel like.
That's actually some really good advice. And I would even second the second point that you said about the no's. Yeah. I would even say something that so my background is sales. I used to do door-to-door knocking. And I got really good really quick. And I was able to build out a team. I was able to motivate a team every single day. And I made multi-millions for a charity that I didn't give two tosses about. Like, I'll be real about it. I was just knocking on people's doors trying to make a commission. And that was facts, right? One of the things that I learned during that process, because when you knock on people's doors, they like, how many doors, how many people have knocked on your door and you're like, oh, no, it's cool. Like,
bare times.
Or come back later.
100% bare times.
I used to get over that objection like that. So one of the things that I learned through that process was the law of averages. If you do the same thing a number of times, you end up being able to work out your law of averages, right? And your law of averages essentially states that, and everyone's could be different. Mine at the time was, if I speak to 10 people, if I get 9 no's, the 10th one always is a yes.
Okay.
Every 10 no's I get a yes. So if my target is I need to get 5 yeses in a day, I have to make sure I'm knocking on 50 doors. Right?
Makes sense.
So the law of averages states that if you do it enough, you will average out and actually get to the goal that you was originally going for. So no matter how many no's you get, you will get a yes within
100%.
those no's.
100%.
And if you keep going through the process, you will then realize how many no's you need to get through to get to the yes. And that, when you get to that, made it. Because all you then need to do, once you've worked out your own law of averages, is, okay, cool. My target is 5 people. I know I have to speak to 50 people this week. If I don't speak to 50 people, essentially I'm not going to be hitting my target. So all you're now thinking of is not the yes or the no. You're thinking of number 1, number 2, number 3, all the way up to 50. So your focus is now not on the fact that your heart gets a little bit, you're bruised your ego a little bit, but you get the, okay, cool, I just need to get that one more. I just need to get that one more. I just need to get that one more. Do you know what I mean? So that was a brilliant point. I would definitely say that throughout your journey, there's a lot more that I want to touch on.
Okay.
However, I normally keep these sessions to just over an hour.
Okay.
But what I really want to do is, we're going to be putting on some live events soon. And those live events will be live podcasts. And I'd love to be able to get you to come to one of those live podcasts and interact with the people that are in the room. And we get a few people that are budding musicians, that are trying to get management maybe, and also budding musicpreneurs, people that are trying to get into the music management business or the label business, for you to be able to interact with them and actually give them first-handed advice on what they could do, right? So they're going to be intimate sessions, and I'd really love you to kind of come in and support on that front, because I know that is everything that you're kind of about, and you're brilliant at motivating, honestly.
Thank you, I appreciate that.
Your story is more than inspirational, and I commend you for being able to put in as much effort as you do into individual people. Like, you pour into people like there's no tomorrow. And sometimes I think to myself, the amount that you pour into people, how much do you pour into yourself?
It's definitely something that I have to ask myself. That's one of the reasons why I started Dream Life, to obviously, like, the successes that I had, the successes that I have had is platinum singles, touring the world, performing at Wireless, selling out Rxwntree Academy, all of this stuff with my artists. And then it was asked, what do I want? Because that's I was even though I was successful as I'm a part of the artist's brand, but essentially it's the artist's brand, isn't it? Like, it's this, you know what I'm trying to say? Like, yeah, I get a commission and I get some money out of it and stuff, and I'm happy with myself, but what do I actually want? Because that's what the artists wanted.
Do you know?
So I want to be an executive. My vision at that time was to be an executive of a major label that I built. You know what I'm trying to say? So it's like I now build a team. I now have managers. I now work with managers, I should say, sorry. And my management company is also the label. So some artists stay as just management. Some artists are label. For example, Rock Nation, similar to Jay-Z. That's the kind of thing. He manages some people, he signs some people, he does both. That's kind of essentially like what I wanted to have, but on a major scale, working with artists who are doing millions. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I wanted to do. So then me doing Dream Life Records is just for me to learn. It was for me to work with my brothers as well, because I'm a co-MD and a co-founder, and also just learn how the industry works on the more major side. I'm learning it from independent, grinding, hustling, my laptop, going into a coffee shop, my bed, a desk that I've built in my room, my mom's room, my brother's room, the kitchen, the front room. Those are my offices, you know what I'm trying to say? To now working in Dream Life, having my own office, learning how it works, learning the sales and how you actually operate the business. Do you know what I mean? And that's, it's a very much a learning curve, man. So
major leverage off of that as well.
100%.
Oh, Shane. As I said, I want to bring you in, so I'm already formally inviting you.
Okay.
Thanks.
Yeah, because there's like literally, we've spoke about things, but there's so much more in it. Like,
of course, an hour's conversation isn't even going to scratch the surface. So a massive thank you for coming down today.
Thank you.
And I really hope to see. I want to see Mizermillion in lights.
100%.
It's already in lights, but I want to see
You
it
will.
all the time in lights.
100%. Mizermillion Entertainment, not Miser, please, guys. It's jarring every time I hear someone say that, but I get it. It's the way I spell it. It's Mizermillion.
Mizermillion.
Yeah, that's it. Roll off the tongue. You see that? That roll off the Mizermillion. Yeah. yeah.
But a huge thank you.
Thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
Much love for you for coming down, and we'll speak to you on the live podcast. So anybody that is looking for first-hand advice and first-hand practical tips on what you can do on an artist perspective, but also on an artist manager perspective and overall music business perspective, definitely make sure you are subscribing, make sure you are following, and make sure you send us a message on Discord to get a ticket to that. So massive thank you for listening. Take care. See you next time.
You was just listening to the Promisingpreneur podcast. I am Aahliyah Amerat, and thank you so much for listening all the way through. Don't forget to click subscribe and share to at least one person, because that's the only thing that's going to fuel us to carry on.